Okay, now it's a second project. It is a purolator API portal rewritten exactly in 7 to 2 minute structure. Okay. So first content. So project content, the why. This project focused on modernizing the purolator API ecosystem by providing a centralized portal where customers and then developers could generate authentication keys and request access and integrated shipping APIs such as tracking, estimate, and then pick up and then return directly into their application. So objective of this application is the business goal was to accelerate the third party integrations, reduce the onboarding frictions, improve the developer experience, and enable more customers to adapt the pure later e-ship web services for commercial and then enterprise shipping workflow. So the architecture standpoint, the solution consists of SPA front-end portal for key token management and onboarding, back-end REST and then SOAP integration with the internal purolator systems, and then ERP web services connectors for shipping, tracking, and then rating services. AWS components for identity, API access, storage, and then logging. Oracle, we use a Postgres SQL for customer metadata and then onboarding states. It supports the commercial and then corporate developers integration model, enabling both the self-serve onboarding and then enterprise workflow. So my role was right. I worked as a development lead responsible for requirement analysis, technical design, UI development, backend service integration, and then AWS deployment strategy, and improving the developer onboarding and performance across the modules. Technical details, front end we used Angular 15 plus TypeScript and RxJS, SPA architecture, I18 localization, and then UI patterns like reactive forms, custom validators, pipes, directives, reusable components, and so on. The backend standpoint, Java with REST, SOAP API, services orchestration, JSON parsing, Oracle DB. And then cloud, we are used the AWS S3, CloudFront, API Gateway, IAM, Lambda, Aurora DB, and DynamoDB, and CloudWatch. Testing, we used Jasmine Karma for UI, JUnit plus Eclama for backend test coverage. Integration, third-party ERP connector for shipping and then tracking API. Key achievements and then results, impact metrics, improved the API integration onboarding through the self-serve portal capabilities, reduced the developer onboarding time from the manual ticketing to automated key provisioning, and then increase the adoption of Purelator eShips API across the commercial and then enterprise channel. Enhanced user experience via the localized UI, reusable components, and then responsive layout. Provided secure token issuance via the API gateway plus IAM integration. So challenging and then learning and maturity. A key challenge was supporting with the commercial and then corporate developers with a different onboarding model and authentication requirements, handling mixed REST and then SOAP API interfaces, secure token provisioning through the AWS required careful orchestration. I gained a strong experience in SPA architecture, cloud-based API gateway, and then secure onboarding workflow, and developer focused platform design. Summary format, right? The project name is API portal. It's for pure later logistics shipping company. The project context is build a centralized portal to manage the API onboarding, authentication keys, and then developer integration for shipping services. Business goal is to enable the faster API adoption, reduce the onboarding frictions, and then support the commercial and then enterprise shipping integration. So the architecture stack, Angular is SPA plus Java, REST and then Spring API, Boot, Oracle, Postgres SQL, AWS, S3, CloudFront, API Gateway, Lambda, IAM, DynamoDB, or Aurora, and then CloudWatch. My role is development lead and key contribution requirement analysis, design, SPA development, and then reusable component, and REST SOAP integration, AWS deployment, and then localization and testing improvements. technical details like we used Angular 15, TypeScript, RxJS for, and then Java, Spring Boot, REST API, and then Postgres SQL, AWS services, Jasmine, Karma, JUnit, and then I18, CLI, test coverages. And then achievements, right? Improved the developer onboarding throughput, increased API adoption, automated token provisioning, enhanced UX, and then secure cloud delivery. Challenges and then learning, right? Handling the dual developer model, secure token provisioning, REST plus SOAP API interoperability, and UX for the developer focused platform. So that's all.